What if everything you've ever believed about destiny isn't true? Imagine walking through life believing that what's meant to be will simply happen. The universe will guide you, and fate will take care of the rest. On the surface, this sounds comforting, doesn't it? But dig a little deeper, and you'll start to realize that this mindset could be doing more harm than good, and it's a dangerous path that may be holding you back from reaching your true potential. Today, we'll unpack why this thinking doesn't work and how it could be derailing your progress in life. First, let's address the most common problem with a fate-driven mentality: passivity. If you truly believe that everything is preordained, that your life is simply unfolding according to some grand plan, why bother making decisions or taking action? Why risk failure when you can just wait for things to come to you? This line of thinking leads to a lack of personal agency, and over time, it can drain your motivation to actively shape your future. Consider relationships, for example. If you think that if you're meant to be with someone, it'll just happen, you might never take the initiative to nurture that relationship or make the effort to connect. Real love requires attention, communication, and effort, not passive waiting. You can't sit on the sidelines and expect things to magically fall into place. Next, we have the issue of cognitive myopia, which can turn you into a prisoner of your own narrow thinking. Cognitive myopia, or short-sightedness, as it's sometimes called, happens when you're so focused on a single perspective or outcome that you can't see the bigger picture. Relying on destiny often means seeing things only in terms of fate's grand design, without recognizing the complex web of factors that actually shape events in your life. When you blame everything on the universe, you're not asking yourself the tough questions about your choices, actions, and the lessons you can learn from mistakes. Take the example of a job interview you didn't get. Do you chalk it up to bad luck, or do you look at how your preparation, your attitude, or your timing might have influenced the outcome? Without reflecting on your own role in the situation, you miss the chance to grow and improve. Then there's the impact of this mindset on mental health. When things don't go as planned, it's tempting to blame it all on fate. If you subscribe to the idea that everything happens for a reason, you might convince yourself that setbacks are part of a larger, uncontrollable plan. But this mentality can spiral into helplessness. Instead of looking at a failed attempt as a learning opportunity, you may feel as though there's nothing you can do to change your circumstances. This sense of helplessness can weigh on your emotional well-being and even lead to despair. It's important to realize that you have the power to control your reactions, your thoughts, and your actions. Relying on fate can keep you from tapping into that power, trapping you in a cycle of frustration and stagnation. But there's hope. We don't have to be at the mercy of fate. By shifting our mindset and taking responsibility for our AC tie-ins, we can guard against these pitfalls. The first tool in your arsenal is simply to remind yourself that you have agency. You're not a passive passenger in this journey. You're the driver. Your decisions, no matter how small, shape your life. You have the ability to act, to course correct, and to make things happen. Don't wait for the universe to deliver. Take charge of your future and start making intentional choices that bring you closer to your goals. Next, challenge the idea that everything has to be fated. When things don't go as planned, don't automatically blame the stars. Seek alternative explanations for the outcome. If you didn't get that promotion, was it because of circumstances beyond your control? Or was there something about your approach that could be improved? Asking yourself these questions opens you up to new solutions and perspectives. It allows you to take responsibility for your actions and, most importantly, learn from them. Finally, focus on reflection and gratitude. When you feel the urge to blame fate for your misfortunes, take a moment to reflect on your choices and the role you played in shaping your reality. When something goes wrong, instead of casting blame, see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Also, practicing gratitude can help shift your perspective. By focusing on what you're grateful for, you begin to see that life isn't just about fate's whims. It's about the combination of factors, including your own actions, that shape your path. In closing, life is not about waiting for things to fall into your lap or hoping that fate will guide you. The more you rely on destiny, the less control you take over your future. The next time you find yourself thinking that if it's meant to be, it will happen, remember, it's not the universe at work, it's you. Embrace the power of personal agency, reflect on your coikies, and keep striving to improve. With this mindset, the future won't just happen, it'll be something you actively create.